Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to autofill OTP from SMS in Flutter Android using the SMS Retreiver API. So first of all I will quickly show you guys the documentation. Now if you see, again this video will be only for Flutter Android. We won't be doing it for iOS because iOS, as far as I know, does not support anything of this kind. So what we will do is that we will automatically fetch the OTP from SMS, and it will automatically pre-fill our text input as well, or text field. Now there are two ways of doing this. I have already done a video on using the user consent API, so in case you haven't watched, go check that video out. In user consent API, what used to happen is that the user will be presented with this particular modal and he will have to click on allow. But in this video we will be looking into the automatic SMS verification, so user does not have to do anything and the OTP will be pre-filled automatically. Now the problem with this tutorial is that we require the backend as well as the front end. Now for in the user consent API which I have shown you, we don't need to make any changes on the backend, but on the SMS Retreiver API which we will be doing in this tutorial, we need to make some changes on the backend side as well. Now for backend I will be using Node.js, but you are free to use whatever you feel like. And for sending SMS I am using the Twilio service because that's what has been recommended in this particular tutorial, because they have also given some sample code, so it was very easier for me to follow, and I'm not a backend guy really, so I don't have much knowledge about backend. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Again, instead of Twilio, you are free to use whatever you feel like. Again, Twilio is a service which will help us to send SMS and we will call it via backend, that is via Node.js. Okay, also the other advantage of Twilio is that it automatically helps us to it does not require any credit card or debit card registration. I was able to get free credits as soon as I signed up on them. Again, this is not a paid sponsorship or anything like that. I just think it's very easy to get started with Twilio. But yeah, feel free to use whatever you feel like. Let's look at the demo first. Okay guys, so here is the output. Now I know I have blurred the output. Just hang on a minute. The reason why I have blurred the output is because as soon as the app is open, I'm displaying a pop-up which is from the SMS Retreiver API itself to the user to pick a mobile number. So I don't have to tell the user to type their mobile number. They can automatically pick their mobile number from the SMS Retreiver modal API which has been popped up on the screen. So I'll quickly pick a mobile number because I have multiple SIM cards, that's why it is giving me different mobile numbers. So I'll quickly select one of the mobile number and it will pre-populate it inside my phone number text field. Okay, so as you can see, my phone number text field has been popped up. Now I have blurred it. I have made it as a password input because I don't want to show you guys my mobile number obviously, but hopefully you got the point. Now okay, now I'm running the app via I'm running it via Flutter Run command. I just got confused, sorry about that. Anyways, if you don't want that modal pop-up, you can ask the user to manually type out their phone number. Okay. Now I will click on the get OTP button. So basically what it will do, it will call my backend API and it will also start listening for SMS messages. So here you can see, and as you can see, I have got a message and it has automatically pre-filled the OTP from that particular message. So hopefully it was clear to you till now. Now just keep an eye on this. I will click on verify OTP. Again it will call my backend API, and here you can see I have got the success message as true. So hopefully you got the point. I entered the mobile number from the modal API, like the SMS Retreiver modal pop-up. If you want, the user can type out the mobile number manually. Then I click on get OTP. My get OTP will call my Node.js API. My Node.js API will call the Twilio API, and I am also starting the SMS Retreiver to start listening for messages. Okay, so there are multiple things happening. I'll show it to you one more time. I'll click on the get OTP button, and here you can see it has automatically pre-filled the OTP from my message, and I can click on verify OTP just like what I have done it previously, and here you can see that I have successfully verified. This response is from my Node.js API. Now I want to show you guys one more thing. Just keep in mind, I will explain it to you more about it later on. I will just I'll just remove all this. I will just request for one more OTP just so that you guys have a better idea. Now I'm like I'm mirroring my device, that's why it is taking little bit of time and it might feel a little bit janky to you, but just bear with me over here. So here you can see this is my message, right? So this message is coming from Twilio. Now if you see, I have this OTP, but if you see at the bottom, I have this weird gibberish text, right? This is my app hash. Just keep in mind that we require app hash. We need to give the app hash from our front end to our backend side. Now your app hash will be same for all users, so you can just once you have the app hash from your application, you can just hardcode that app hash inside your Node.js side. I will later on tell you how you can get the app hash from your front end side to your and then just put it on your backend side. Okay, so let's start by looking at the code. Okay guys, so I will start with the backend code first, because once you understand the backend code, then you will have better idea about the front end as well. So like I told you, I'm using Node.js. So if you want to follow me, you will have to install Node.js on your local system. Then what you can do is just create a folder, name it whatever you feel like. I have just named it as backend. Then you will have to create this package.json file. So just copy paste it, and here you can see I have installed few dependency. First is this .env. So this, if you see this .env, this will hold all the API key secrets which are required for my backend to communicate with Twilio. Obviously I'm not going to show you guys that. You can create your own Twilio account to get all that API keys. I will tell you how to get all those API keys and secrets and all that stuff as well. So that's why I have installed .env. Then I have installed Express to create RESTful API endpoints, and this is Twilio for sending SMS. And here you can see we have the start and dev script as well. So it will basically look for index.js. Okay, so you to start your server, either you can run npm run start or you can run npm run dev, up to you. If you want to do hot reloading or hot refresh, you can install nodemon as well, but I don't want to go into that. So first, if I go to the documentation, okay, no, forget the documentation. So first file which you have to create is this SMS verify.js. Now entire code for this SMS verify.js is particular in this repo. Now make sure this repo is little bit outdated. Most of the code, like more than 98% of the code, I have copied it from this, but I will tell you what exactly is outdated. So if you want, you can go to this particular URL and you will see all the code. So just copy paste all this code. Okay, that's what I have done. So this is our SMS verify, which takes a Twilio client app hash, verification service ID, as well as country code. This is like I think this looks up whatever phone number you have passed it and just checks whether it is a correct or not. Even I am not really sure. We don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, so the so like I told you, right, some of the code is deprecated in this particular GitHub repo. So the thing which is deprecated is here you have to add .v2 as well, which I have added. Please don't miss this out. So just copy paste my code. If you are confused, everything will work. Then here this particular method gets called when we are requesting for OTP. Again, the GitHub repo does not have this .v2. Make sure you add this particular thing as well. So here basically we are calling Twilio client and asking for OTP message to the formatted phone number. Okay, so just copy paste all this code, and this is for verification of OTP. Again, this is a regex. Now this SMS message, actually I'm not passing the entire SMS message, I'm only passing the OTP. That's why this I think is pretty much useless for me, but anyways I have kept it. I don't want any other issues, that's why. And here again you have to add this .v2, which is not present inside the documentation or in the GitHub repo which I'm talking about. So this will basically verify our OTP whether it was correct or not. And this reset, I'm not really using it, but if you want you can keep it. Okay, so hopefully it is clear. I'll simply scroll through this in case if you have missed anything. Okay, also one more thing, if you're doing Node.js for the very first time, after creating package.json file, you will have to open terminal, cd to this backend folder and run npm space install or npm space I or npm install, however you call it. This will create this node modules folder as well as this package-log.json. Hopefully most of you might be aware about Node.js. Okay, then we have this index.js file. So here firstly I am loading this .env. So this will load this particular file. Then we are importing Twilio, we are importing Express, and we are also importing SMS verify.js. Then here I have created our Express. Here I have created this URL encoded, and here I have also created this JSON. This is boilerplate code for Express.js. Now if you see, we have to create this Twilio constructor. So it requires an API key, API secret, as well as this Twilio account SID. Now all these value are coming from my .env file. Now to tell you how to get this particular API key and API secret, firstly you will have to go to this particular URL. Obviously you need to be registered on Twilio. Then you will have to go to this URL. In this URL you will see a button called create API key. Just click on it. It will ask you for a name, give it name, keep the key type as standard. Okay, important thing to note is your Twilio API key is the SID which you see after creating your key. It is not the friendly API key name. Obviously I will show you one screenshot to clarify more. Okay, and don't confuse the Twilio account SID with verification SID. Okay, so once you create the API key, you will see something like this. Okay, so this SID which you see is your Twilio API key. The secret which you see is your Twilio API secret. So if you see, this is the Twilio API key, this is the Twilio API secret. So this is the SID is Twilio API key, secret is Twilio API secret. Then we require this Twilio account SID. So for that you can go to this particular URL. It will tell you how to get your Twilio account SID. Again I have a screenshot for that. So you will see something like this, and the part which I have erased with the green marker, that is your Twilio account SID. So just copy paste it and you can paste it over here. Okay, then I have created two API endpoints. One is this /API/phone. It takes a phone number, then I just get a country code from that phone number. This is our Twilio client. This is our app hash. Keep it empty for now. I will tell you how to get the app hash from your Flutter application later on. Now there is this verification service SID as well. So for that you can go to this particular URL and you should see something like this. I don't know, in my case there were two verification service SID. Just copy any one of this and paste it over here. Okay, and this is our country code, and here I just call this request method which we had defined it inside our SMS verify.js file, right, passing our phone number. If you want you can wait for that as well, but I'm not really waiting. I'm just sending the message back, reply back to client side. And here this is the second API for verification. Again in this I'm passing phone number as well as the message. I'm not really passing the message, I'm only passing the OTP. Sorry for the bad naming, but yeah. Then here we get the country code. Again this is our Twilio API client. This is our app hash. Keep it empty for now. I will tell you how to get the app hash later on. Then this is our verification service SID. This is our country code, and again I just call SMS verify.verify, and if it is verification is successful, I send the success message back. So if you remember, I was sending success as true back over here, right? Yeah, here you can see that's what I was sending, right? In case of failure I'm sending success fail message unable to validate OTP, and I'm starting the Node.js server on port 3000, and here we are starting our server. Now important to note, I haven't deployed my Node.js server anywhere on any cloud. I am running it locally. So while calling it from the front end side in the base URL, you will have to write your own IP address. Again I'll tell you later on, but hopefully till here everything is clear. So that's it from our backend Node.js side. Okay, now let's look at the front end side. So here you can see that I have created a Flutter application basically, and first thing is I'll go to main.dart. So these are all the imports. Also inside my pubspec.yaml I have added this HTTP dependency because we want to make API calls. Here you can see these are all the imports. Everything is same in my app. I've just refactored this my home page widget. Okay, so first I have taken two editing control, one for our phone number and one for our OTP text field. Then I have created this SMS channel as well because we need to call some method which I have written on native Android side, which I will come back later on. and I have also created an event channel. So this event channel will help us get the OTP from native side, because we really don't know when we will get the OTP, right? That's why I'm using event channel for this. And this is stream subscription, again is for our getting our OTP. So inside our init state, I have created one method for getting our app hash, one method for getting our phone number. Again, we in get app hash, you don't need to get the app hash, like get app hash is only for getting the app hash and putting it in on the backend side. You don't need to ship this on production or to your users. Once you get the app hash, just comment this code out. Again, I'm repeating, once you get the app hash, just comment this code out. Again, I'll tell you where exactly I have written all this code. And get phone number will actually display the modal pop-up which I have blurred in the output, from which the user will select a phone number. If you don't want to allow the user to select phone number, instead you want the user to type their phone number, you can just uncomment this out. Again, the stream subscription is for getting the OTP. So once I get the OTP, here you can see I'm setting it inside our OTP controller dot text. So this will be our actual OTP. In case of error, I'm just printing it to console. In dispose, we are disposing our subscription. So here you can see this is the method called get app hash. So basically here I have defined on native side, I have defined a method called get app hash, and it will give us the app hash, and I'm printing it to the console. We don't need to display it inside our app, right? We only need the app hash to put it on the backend side. Again, I am repeating, once you get the app hash, comment this code out. I'm not commenting it just for your safety, or maybe I will refer this code in the future. I don't want to get confused, that's why I'm not commenting out. But you should comment this code out or remove this code completely as soon as you get your app hash. Now there are different ways of getting app hash as well, which I will talk later on at the very end, but yeah, for now we can get the app hash something like this. Here is our get phone number. So this is how we get phone number. Again, I have defined the method on the native side, so you will have to use the same identifier on the native side as well. And once I get phone number, I just assign it to our phone number controller dot text. Here I have defined a safe area, padding, column. Okay, so this is our text field for getting our phone number. Again, I wanted to obscure the text from you guys. I don't want to display my phone number, that's why I've written this obscure text to true for phone number, but you don't have to do this. Okay, on first button click, so when we are getting the OTP, so basically we are starting the retriever, SMS Retreiver API to start listening for messages. Again, this method has been defined on the native Android side, so you will have to use the same identifier, which I will come back shortly. Then we call our API. Now this entire part should be your own IP address. Don't copy my IP address, it won't work for you. Okay, so this should be your IP address. Again, my Node.js API is hosted locally, that's why I'm using HTTP. Also, port number is 3000, so whatever port number you have given for your Node.js API, use that. And this is our API, right? And here you can see we are passing our phone number to that particular API, and once I get the data, I'm just printing it to the console. Similarly, for our second text field, so this is for OTP text field, I have assigned the controller to it, and once we get the OTP, this is for verification part. Again, this entire thing should be your own IP address. Don't copy my IP address, otherwise it won't work for you. And this is our port /API/verify, and here you can see we are passing our phone number, and this is actually we are passing our OTP. Okay, so in backend side I have written this as message, that's why I have written message over here as well. Once I get the data, I'm again just printing it to console, but you can do whatever you feel like. So that's it on the UI side for Flutter. Now what you will have to do is you will have to open the Android folder inside Android Studio. I have already done that. Okay guys, so here is the Android project inside Android Studio. First thing which you have to do is go to android manifest.xml, and here you will have to scroll up. You will have to obviously add internet permission because we are making API call. And the second thing is you also need to add this uses clear text traffic to true. The reason is because my Node.js app is hosted locally and it is not on HTTPS, it is HTTP. That's why I have to use this. But if you have already hosted your backend on cloud and it is on HTTPS, you don't really need this uses clear text traffic, but if not, you need this. Then you also need to add this my SMS broadcast receiver. So just copy all this code and just paste it inside your Android manifest.xml. now it might throw you an error that my SMS broadcast receiver file is not created, but we will create this file shortly. So just copy paste all this code which I have. Okay, then you will have to go to settings.gradle. I have updated the Kotlin version to 1.9.20. you can do that as well. And here inside build.gradle, I have added these dependencies, and I have added 3 dependencies. First one is this play services auth as well as play services auth API phone. These are part of SMS Retriever API. And the third dependency which I have added is this data store preference. Now there is a funny, or you might say a hacky way why I'm using this. Basically once we get the message or the OTP, it is inside a file called Android service, and we need to communicate it back to the Flutter activity file. Now it's where, like, I have tried multiple approaches, I couldn't really figure it out how to send data from services Android service class to Android activity class. That's why I am using this particular hack. I won't call it an hack, but it's not really an hack. It works fine, but I think that it might not be a correct way, or if you are following the clean code architecture, people might say it is not the clean way, but I won't really call it a hack. But yeah, just wanted to put it out there. Once you add this dependency, you will see a sync now button at the somewhere over here. Just click on it and it will download all the dependencies for you. Next, firstly we'll look at this SMS broadcast receiver. So this is the receiver file, and from this we want to communicate to the main activity.kt file. Okay, so firstly again you can just copy paste all this code which I have, and here is our broadcast receiver. This gets triggered as soon as we call this SMS Retriever API from the get OTP button. Okay, and here you can see once we get this particular thing, we get the SMS retriever status, and here we get the status code. If it is success, then we get the actual message. And here you can see I'm making use of this save SMS message to save it. So this preferences data store is basically used for storing key value data, but yeah, we can listen for it if it has changed or not. So that's what I'm doing over here. I'm saving that particular message over here, and once it has changed, our main activity will get a callback that it has changed, and we can send the data back to Flutter side. And this is for timeout. So there is 5 minutes timeout. So if in 5 minutes if your backend does not send an SMS, then the SMS retriever will stop listening for new messages. So yeah, this is the code for it. You can just copy paste it. So I'll just simply scroll through this. Okay, next we'll come to main activity. So first, again, just copy paste all this code. There is this app signature helper class. I will come back later on because there are few caveats. This will actually help us to get the app hash which I was talking about, which is required for our backend. But again, I'll come back to this later on. So firstly, you can copy all these imports which I have, and here I have created our preferences data store as well. Here this is our network event channel which will help us to send OTP back to Flutter side. So I have created the event sync for this as well. Okay, I will close this for now. First, I have created this on create, and here as you can see, I'm listening for the callback from our SMS broadcast receiver. So as soon as I get it, I'm extracting the OTP from the particular message, and I'm sending it back to Flutter side. So I will show you this method as well in a bit. Here I have defined our method channel result. So here is our method channel. And also one more thing, here you will have to use Flutter fragment activity instead of Flutter activity. Okay, then I'll scroll down. So this is our first method called start retriever. So as soon as you call the get OTP button, I was calling this particular method as well, right? So this will start our SMS retriever, and it will automatically trigger this my SMS broadcast receiver. So hopefully you're now able to make the connection. You don't really need this success and failure listener. This was just part of my debugging. So if you don't want, you can just remove it. We just require this client dot start SMS retriever. Then this is for getting the phone number dialog, which I have told you, which I have blurred the output for. So this is how we get the phone number dialog from the SMS Retriever API. So the user does not have to enter his phone number manually. So basically we are launching this particular intent over here. So you can just copy paste all this code. Okay, and then the callback comes over here, which I will show you. So here you get the callback, and from this we extract the phone number whatever the user has selected. Again, I'm sending this back to Flutter side. Next is our app hash. Okay, so for app hash I will go to the documentation because I want to explain you guys few things. Now there are multiple ways of getting the app hash. So if I scroll down here, you can see they tell us that inside your SMS message you require this app hash. That's why we also in my message I shown you this, right? So here you can see now there are few commands to get the app hash as well. The reason why I didn't use any of this command is I didn't understand from where do I get this .der file. This was extremely confusing for me. That's why I decided to not go with that particular approach itself. So but yeah, I will leave it up to you how you want to use it. But yeah, you can go through this documentation, but the way which I am using is using this app signature helper class. So here you can see alternatively you can get your app hash string with the app signature helper class as well. So you can just open this and it will open it. So it will open this particular file. It is a Java file. You can just copy paste this code. Okay, now there is one more problem. So what I had done is that I have created this Java file over here, app signature helper, but here you can see the extension is KT. So I had to convert that Java file to Kotlin file. The reason is that there is some bug in the Flutter framework. It does not allow me to write some Java code. I don't know why. I keep on getting crashes. It was telling me this Java file was not found. I don't know why. So once what you will have to do that create just Java file. Okay, paste it over here, and in Android Studio itself you have the option of converting Java file to Kotlin file. I think it is in build command. Where is it? It is somewhere over here. I'm not able to find it now. I think run, or maybe it has hidden it because I'm it inside a Kotlin file. Okay, I will just show it to you quickly. What I'll do is that I'll create one Java file, right click, new file. Okay, ABC, right click, refactor, code. Yeah, here you can see the option convert Java file to Kotlin file. That's how I converted this app signature helper to Kotlin file. I'll just delete this. I don't need this. I don't know, again, maybe if you know, do let me know, or by the time you watch it maybe that issue from Flutter framework itself might get resolved, or maybe I was doing something incorrectly. I don't think so I was doing anything incorrectly because I was using the same Java file in native Android application, React Native Expo. That time I didn't face any issue. Only for Flutter I faced issue, so I don't know why. So anyways, I just basically copied all this code and converted it inside Kotlin file. So these are all the imports in case if you are curious. So you can just ignore this deprecated code anyways, any which ways. We only want the app hash once. Once you get the app hash, you can delete this file as well, and inside the main activity also you can remove all the references. So this is all the code for it. Again, you can just copy paste it if you want to, up to you. Okay, next, again, like I told you, once you get the app hash you can remove all this code. We don't really need all this. So once I get the app hash, again I'm sending it back to Flutter side. So once you get the app hash, again you can go to your backend code. So where is it? Index.js backend, and this is our Node.js application. Once you run it, like I told you, right, I am printing it inside my console. So this is our app hash. So you can just use your own app hash. So change it over here inside your Node.js code as well as over here. So these two places you will have to change. Hopefully you got the point now. So this is how we get the app hash, and this is for event channel. Again, we are registering our event, same thing. That's what I was doing over here. Here we are observing for SMS messages so that we can immediately send that back to Flutter side, and this is how we extract OTP from message. Now my OTP is 6 digit, that's why I'm using this particular regular expression. If it is different for you, make sure you make valid changes inside your regular expression as well. So yeah, that's it for this particular side as well. Okay, I think that should be it. So I have told you all this stuff. Yeah, that should be it. Now once you run your Flutter application, make sure you once you get the app hash, you paste your app hash inside your index.js, and then again you will have to restart your Node.js server, because I'm not using nodemon, right, to automatically refresh if our code changes. So you just have to run npm run dev again once you get the app hash. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye. Let me quickly check if I forgot anything or not. Yeah, I think I told you guys everything. Yeah, that's it. If you have any question, do let me know in the comments. I'll try my best to help you out. Thank you for watching. Bye.